Well, jury selection continues in the high-profile corruption trial of former Chicago Alderman Ed Burke.
WGN's Mike Lowe live at the Dirksen Federal Building. Mike, it's been kind of surprising how many of these potential jurors have never heard of Burke or the corruption case against him.
Indeed, one by one, they're answering questions about whether or not they have heard of Alderman Burke, whether or not they've read news about him. And the questions are coming very slowly. This is a very slow process. As I'm sure you're aware, there's a saying that the wheels of justice turn slowly. In this case, it is a snail's pace. In fact, going so slowly, it doesn't look like we'll get to opening statements this week. For a third straight day, former Alderman Ed Burke entered the Dirksen Federal Building and went into a courtroom to listen as potential jurors answered questions from a judge, prosecutors, and defense attorneys who are working to seat a jury of 12 with 4 alternates in one of the most significant public corruption trials in recent memory. The process has stretched across 3 days. And Judge Virginia Kendall asked the lawyers to keep their questions focused to important issues. She said, quote, "That's your hint to keep it short. Let's get to trial, folks."
I'm not surprised that the jury selection is taking several days. First of all, it's a high-profile case. It's a high-profile person who's involved. And the issues can get a bit complex. It takes a while to get people who are at least going to say that they will be fair.
WGN legal analyst Paul Lisnek, whose area of expertise is jury selection, says the lawyers and their jury consultants are asking carefully crafted questions based on research about the types of people who might be favorable jurors.
The odds are that there have been research studies ahead of time about community attitude, about what kind of jurors would make the best juror for the defendant client in this case, and all of that information is being brought to bear by the lawyers as they walk through these panels.
On the floor, people.
Ed Burke served on the Chicago City Council for 54 years. He was widely viewed as its most powerful member. He is now charged with 14 counts of racketeering, extortion, and bribery. Prosecutors allege that Burke used his public office to enrich his private law firm through schemes like withholding permits from businesses until they gave their business to his firm. Burke is on trial with 2 co-defendants, his longtime aide Peter Andrews and real estate developer Charles Quay. All have pleaded not guilty. Now the defense attorneys, prosecutors, and the judge are working to find the jury that will serve for a trial expected to last 6 weeks. Potential jurors today included a Goodwill store manager with a pet snake named Medusa, a suburban sewer worker who met his wife at Burger King, and a restaurant hostess from Plainfield who told one of the attorneys that she wanted to serve on the jury because it would be fun and nobody she knows had ever done it.
People talk about this as jury selection. It's not jury selection. It's the process of jury deselection. It's the process of removing people who your team doesn't feel will be fair to your client, or perhaps maybe bend a little in favor of your client.
And Judge Virginia Kendall began the day telling the lawyers on both sides that she wanted to move this case to trial as quickly as possible, but she also said the main priority is seating a jury that is fair and impartial. That quest, it appears, will wait at least one more day. Reporting live at the Dirksen Federal Building, Mike Lowe, WGN News.